Hi everyone, Cassandra here with SassyCassySews.com. Today I'm going to teach you techniques about seam ripping. I know seam ripping seems like pretty basic and easy, but so many students struggle with this, and actually one of them requested this video, so I'm going to teach you the best way, the easiest way to do seam ripping. So there's 3 different techniques, and I'm going to go over each of them with you today. Okay, so this is technique number 1. I did a black stitch so that you can see what we're doing. So this is the traditional method, the method that everybody always wants to do, and that's to just go in here and put your seam ripper underneath each stitch and kind of pull it out. The problem with this is sometimes you get your fabric caught in there. You have to be really careful not to get your fabric. So this is the main way that people usually seam rip. We'll call this the traditional method. And they just take it all the way down. So it kind of takes a little bit of time. You just put that seam ripper under there and rip your stitch until you get all the way to the bottom. That is method number 1. Number 2 and 3 might be a little better, but this works also. There you go. Your seam is done. We're done with technique 1. The second method is one that I learned in my college days, and the way you do that is you start by pulling up one string. This works best on more of like a cotton. Pull up your thread until you have a good enough hopefully that's long enough where you can kind of pull it and see that the fabric bunches up, and you pull it until that top thread rips. Then if you come on the back, now all of this is loose. So you can come over here, flip it to that side, pull it again, almost like you're gathering it. Pull it nice and bunchy, rip it again. Now if you turn it back to the other side, now this thread is loose. And so you can pull it again until it bunches up. This probably isn't one that you'd want to do on like a nice fine fabric like silk or something, rayon, anything like that. But for cotton it works great. Again, your stitch is loose. So you're just going back and forth from one side to the other, basically gathering up your fabric until that thread rips. So that is technique number 2. And notice how quickly we were able to cut that seam out. For technique number 3, I think this one is my favorite. You can come in here and every 2 to 3 stitches, just bring your seam ripper underneath and rip. And we're just going to go down along the entire seam. Every 2 or 3, well, maybe even 3 or 4 stitches, we're just going to come up under there and just rip out, cut through the stitch. That's what I'm trying to say. Cut through the stitch. We're going to do that all the way down. And make sure that when you get to the end here, because I did do my back stitching, even though this was just a sample for you, I wanted to show you what it would really be like, so make sure you get under that back stitch. Now flip it over and kind of pull up your thread, and your whole thread comes out just like that. And your seam is done. So there you have it. There's your 3 techniques on how to rip out a seam. Number 1 you've probably done before. It's the traditional method of how to take out your seam. 2 and 3 you've probably never seen before is my guess. But why don't you give it a try and let me know how you like it. You might find that it's a lot easier than the traditional technique number 1 method. So make sure to check my other videos, and I'm loading more every week. So if you like this page, if you like what you've seen, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also find me on www.SassyCassySews.com, and I look forward to sewing with you again soon.